Barrister Mbeseha, here is a report not palatable to the ears, how much more to the word? How can we explain that bribes do go on just for such actions to take place? Is this normal, or we're just getting to get hold of it as a media? Is this a normal practice?
Let me say this. Bribery, like we just talked about the adoptions of people, bribery is part of the culture of the Cameroon government. So they do anything to take bribe. But since this concerns prison, that gives me the opportunity to go further than just bribe. You remember, we purportedly joined this people in 1961. If they ever adopted anything from the so-called Anglophones, they claimed to have adopted the Anglophone prison system. They adopted the West Cameroon, Southern Cameroon prison system. In other words, what an ideal prison system. Which is why, as we speak, they have the highest prison training school in the world, where they train the highest officials of the prison. In principle, they adopt the Southern Cameroon prison system. The Southern Cameroon prison system is was so peculiar. I know the prison they're talking about. I've been there so many times. There's a section for women and a section for men. How do they come mixing up with getting pregnant? As Shirley said, it is corruption. It is an abuse of the system they purportedly inherited. The Boya Center prison that they are there, where these events occurred, was built before 1960. They made the prison there. They've not added another building there. It's still the same prison. But the walls that divided the female and the male parts of the prison are all broken physically and morally, which is why you can buy your way. Did these criminals, because they're all in jail, did these criminals commit any offense? Of course, they committed no offense. Because if you let loose prisoners among themselves, the urge to have sex is there. They'll have it. Why are you in prison in the first place? If you can walk around and have sex freely, you're no longer a prisoner, be it a man or a woman. Which is what they tried to inherit what we did. What's happening in Boya prison is not different from what's happening here only. There are reports out there. Go and look at the report of the Kondengi prison, which is supposed to be the biggest prison in Yaoundé. They have special cells there for big people, for their senior prisoners, whose wives visit them. They have rooms where they sleep there with them. And so it is a total abuse of a system called the prison system. They adopted the Anglophone prison system for two things. If I can just give that short history. They realized that in southern Cameroon, where you went to prison, you were to be reformed. And so southern Cameroon had what they call the productive prison. So that when you come out of prison, you have become productive. You have done something. And so when you go to prison in the English system that was existing in southern Cameroon, you were a prisoner. But the prison system allowed people to come there and hire labor. Because in prison you can find everybody. You can find accountants, you can find farmers, you can find a lot of people there. In Boya where I was, you could go there and hire labor from the prison. Bricklayers, carpenters, and you paid for. The prisoners made farms, produced food and sold it out. But this thing was not meant to please the warders. A part of the money was kept for you, the prisoner. The records were kept. How many days you had worked, how long you had worked, because there's a way to pay you. At the end of your prison term, you are giving that money. You are giving that money to pay you back home to go start your life all over again. While you're in prison, you were productive. You were doing something. You were not sitting there looking at the sky from day to night. That was the West Cameroon prison system. That was the Southern Cameroon prison system that they purported to inherit. In Boya, there are two prisons. There are still two prisons there. That prison where you have that thing happening is called the lower farms. That was the central prison. There's another one up there. They call the upper farm prison. The upper farm prison was specialized in rearing animals, chickens, They were very, very productive. They produced milk. I bought the milk from there. They produced chicken and eggs and sold to the people outside and sold to the government. They bought it and fed them. And the money was kept in stock. But what has become of the boy upper prison today when the young people inherited it? They took it from us. They killed all the cows that were producing milk and sold the meat cheap. They sold all the chicken out and stole the money. Once the cows were finished and the poultry farms were laid bare, they moved to their brothers who had come there to work to somewhere else and allow the prison to lay bare. This is a fact. It's what I saw. I'm not imagining it. And so this is a tip of the iceberg, which goes again to remind us where are we coming from and where are we heading to. In future, in the future of Tanzania, we shall have women prison. We shall have women prisoners. We shall have men prisoners. Maybe they will not even share the same prison like the central prison. They'll have their own prison differently. But you go to prison for a reason, because you've done something wrong. If you're allowed directly or indirectly to enjoy certain privileges in prison, like having sex with the people you want or the people you don't want, you're no longer a prisoner. It defeats the purpose of a prison. So locking up warders because the superintendent has said this or that is just the tip of the iceberg. Those things, those people have to be punished for doing it. They are illegal. Those contacts between prisoners are not allowed officially. And so if you facilitate it, you're breaking the law. Where you yourself should become a prisoner. And so, poor girl, we hope your child survives. Child will born in prison, maybe. We don't know what the child will be, but that's where you find yourself. But once you're in prison, man or woman, if you don't restrain your sexual ages, you're not a prisoner. You should be able to suffer those things that you used to enjoy as a free person. That's what makes you a prisoner. Over to you.
This is a very sad one, just to show that there is corruption from every nook and cranny of La Republic to Cameroon, wherever you want to talk about it, from the police to the government to everyone at every point in time, at every level, corrupt. But we'll definitely continue to follow up with that report. But that definitely is not all there is to see when it comes to corruption.